Hello, my name is Daniel Doan, and today I'm going to be going over what I've learned and what I've gained in experience while taking class at Southwestern for developing academic and professional strengths. There were three key things I learned from this class: teamwork, personal strengths, cooperation. So while taking the class, I got those three things out of it that are key to me. We did a lot of teamwork throughout the class, which really helped me understand a lot better on how to cooperate with other people. And a lot of times, while working together as a team, I got to figure out what doesn't work when you're working as a team. And the biggest thing I learned from that was that communication is key, especially for an online class like this. And when you're online, you never get to see these people, and that's probably one of the biggest downfalls of an online class. However, you can still get around that when you need it, when it comes down to communication. So the way we communicated on my team was just email, and we made a Google Doc, which basically allowed us to work together on one single document. And from that, we learned how to put all of our ideas on one page and then filter out what would and what wouldn't work. And we did that, I believe, on our first team engagement. And basically, I learned a lot about how to work together and, like I said, cooperate. Cooperation is pretty big as a team, and that's something I've always had a pitfall on, especially being someone who's independent, and which leads me to the personal strengths. I learned a lot about myself as a person and what I have strengths in and my weaknesses in. And my biggest weakness was just leadership, basically. And ironically, I was the team lead for one of the projects we had, mainly because we had two people missing. We didn't have much communication with them, which really sucked. But I took command of the team and ended up trying to get in contact with them and try our best to make sure we had every route taken to try to get them to help us out. But unfortunately, they did not show up to that part of the group project, which is fine. A lot of stuff happening in life, especially a lot of us are military, and it's a busy life, and I can understand that. Which, another thing, the class taught me how to work with other people and understand their differences, especially when it comes to people who do not show up. And it's kind of unheard of to not show up to something that's important, and it's not really a good outlook on somebody. But really, I learned from that on how to understand someone else when it comes to their own lives, because not everyone has all the time in the world. So we also learned about time management, which was pretty good. Wrote a schedule down for a whole week, and it showed me where I was in life and where there are gaps in my schedule where I can work on those and get a better grip of what I'm doing throughout the week, especially when it comes down to college. In those gaps, I can do a better job of actually doing college work instead of just watching TV or playing games. So really, that's another one of my weaknesses, is just procrastination, which in the end is a lot of people's problems. But I got to figure out how I can reduce procrastination and do more productive things, such as college work. Now, when it comes to teamwork, I learned a lot about teamwork, mainly because I got to work with a team to complete a task. And being that I was the leader at that time, I figured out how to understand each one of the people that I was in charge of, and got to see where we could apply their strengths to certain areas of what we're working on. It was just me and another girl on this one project that we worked on. However, she was she said she was pretty good in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and all that. So Microsoft Office, really. And so I had her do basically the task of editing and designing what we would have as our finalized product. So yeah, I'll use strengths in there. And then I took part of just team lead and also some other jobs. And so I learned a lot about how to be a leader. And I'm shouldn't say this, but I am glad that we were missing 2 people, because I got to, I guess, incorporate more of my work in the project and see how to react to certain situations, such as someone or a couple people missing. So I have to learn how to adjust and adapt, which is pretty key detail to have as a leader, is adaptation. So I got to see what it's like to adapt to any situation that showed up during the project. And as I was saying before, the girl I was working with on the project, she told me she was good at Microsoft Office, and that leads to trust being a big thing when it comes to working as a team. You wanna have trust, because if you don't have trust, it's going to be hard to communicate with one another and know that you can rely on one another. And most of the time you shouldn't have to rely on someone else to do some work, but having that behind your back mentally allows you to be at ease and do your own work and get it done, and know that that other person will get it done as well, which she did. She did a really good job. So I was happy to be on the team I was on. Regardless, it was just 2 of us in the end. They did pull their work, the 2 guys that were missing, on a later project, which was really nice to see. And it just showed me that they took I guess, I don't know how to word it, but they took the responsibility in the end to help the team out. But yeah, I learned a lot about how to react to certain situations, and as I said, a lot about myself. Class was really good class, mainly because I learned a lot about myself and how to be a team leader. Because where I'm at in the military, I don't get that opportunity too often because of my rank. I'm not the lowest rank, but I am a lower rank, and so basically at that point you're following directions instead of giving directions. So to get this experience out of the class was pretty nice to have, and I'm sure I'll be able to use it later on in my career, especially being in the military. Knowing how to lead is a big thing to have, because one of these days you will be leading something. And I have led a couple projects in my career so far, and I've only been in for about 2 years now. But the class itself helped me focus more on leadership and working as a team, which is a really effective thing to go through. But even in college, I can use this, because I'm positive that I will be part of multiple teams throughout the rest of my college career. So this class really got me started and helped me quickly get set up on how to work as a team. So, and even in family, I guess this class would help me out, because I know my strengths now. I'm married, so I know my weaknesses. I know where I can find the differences between my wife and I. So, I mean, even there, this class did help me out. But the instructor was a very good instructor. Best thing I liked about him is because he asked a lot of questions that made you dig deep to find an answer. So the deep questions helped me think a lot, and I liked having deep thought questions because I learn a lot more from that, because of how far I have to go to find an answer. A lot of news articles. Those I mean, I don't really read the news much, but a lot of interesting finds that the instructor gave us, which was pretty cool. But all in all, great class. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.